Yeah, my name is Michael Nahm. I work at the Albert Ludwig University in Freiburg, and I lead the project SidaTim, which is concerned with researching energy plant species or multi-purpose plant species such as Sida hermaphrodita, but also valuable timber trees. So this is also where the name of our project comes from, Sida, and Tim from timber. Yeah, we have two research pillars in our project, so I can tell you something briefly about each research pillar. Regarding Sida, we found that already in the second year of growth it produced rather reasonable yields of biomass, up to 10 tons dry mass per hectare and year, and we expect that to increase further. So that's good news. And we found also out that one of our attempts was to check whether it would be possible or if it would be recommendable to harvest it 2 times a year, especially to produce biogas, because you need fresh biomass which has no or low amounts of lignin in it. But we found out, for example, that this is not recommendable. It's really better to harvest the Sida biomass if you want to produce biogas, or also silphium, which we also analyze, if you harvest it once in the times of late summer, something like this. So yes, okay, and one more word about Sida. At least in Germany, I think it's important to mention that also policymakers recognize its potential due to its biomass productivity, but also due to its ecological potentials and ecosystem services, because it's a flowering plant species that attracts many insects and has also advantageous properties for soil quality and so on. So it has now been included into the greening program, at least in Lower Saxony in Germany. So I think this is one good output of SidaTim already. Originates in Northern America, but researchers in Northern America have so far not really worked with it. So the longest traditions of research actually do exist in Europe. It started mainly, it became serious in Poland a couple of years ago or decades ago, and there are only a few long-term experiments that still exist and that still run, but they indicate that Sida can be grown for, let's say, 15 or 20 years without decreasing too much in the biomass productivity. So that's one reason why it is interesting. You plant it once and you harvest it each year, and it produces the nice flowers for the insects I mentioned already, and compared to other perennial crops like short rotation coppice, willow and poplar, it seems to use far less water, or to need far less water, which again is also good. So it doesn't take up too much groundwater, and you can grow it on land that is dry or perhaps even marginal regarding the soil quality. I actually come from the chair of forest growth, so this is where my expertise actually lies in. It's the growth of the trees and the timber trees in an agricultural setting. And our speciality is that we try to grow trees with a long branch-free stem, so that we can harvest and sell after it has reached a certain diameter of 50-60 centimeters, because it's very valuable if you do it in the right way, and you can sell it for a couple of hundreds or even thousands of euro if you're lucky. So, and what we analyze is the interaction between the trees and the crops that grow below them in agricultural systems, in agroforestry systems. And our output, or main output from our project, is that we created a software tool with which we can calculate and also visualize the amount of shadow that is cast by a given tree onto the ground below it, and even including the seasonal dynamics of leaf growth and leaf senescence to obtain realistic figures. And then we can set that again into relation of the growth of the crops that grow in agroforestry systems, and this in turn enables farmers and practitioners to plan their agroforestry systems accordingly, to choose the right species, shadow tolerant or not, and also to design the spacing of the tree rows and so on. How much should the distance be if you choose this and that species? So that's one of our main outputs that we've obtained so far.